Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Numismatic World. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare and high-value coins. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about the treasures hiding in your piggy bank, this video is for you. We'll explore some of the most sought-after coins, their histories, and what makes them so valuable. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's get started on this exciting journey through time and currency. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is one of the most historically significant coins in the United States, carrying with it a rich design legacy, high worth and an important moment in American numismatic history. The design, composition, and production of the coin reflect a variety of historical and economic factors that influenced its creation and continued circulation. Its design is anchored in the life and legacy of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and the imagery of Monticello, his plantation home. Despite being produced in a year of significant change in U.S. coinage, the 1964 Jefferson nickel maintained its original form, both visually and compositionally, and it became a piece of American numismatic history that represents an era before major shifts in coinage. The 1964 Jefferson nickel is a continuation of the design introduced in 1938, which was created by artist Felix Schlag. Schlag's design, which had been used for nearly 3 decades, centers around two central figures, Thomas Jefferson, portrayed on the obverse, and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, shown on the reverse. Both these elements are deeply symbolic and are representative of Jefferson's influence on the founding and expansion of the United States. The coin features the full-profile portrait of Jefferson, facing left, which was based on a famous portrait of Jefferson by artist Rembrandt Peale. This portrait became one of the most iconic representations of Jefferson and was used to symbolize his intellectual stature and his pivotal role in American history, particularly his authorship of the Declaration of Independence and his presidency. Felix Schlag's depiction of Jefferson on the obverse remains quite faithful to the original Peale portrait. Jefferson's face is shown with a strong jawline and clear, prominent features. His hair is styled in the manner typical of an 18th-century gentleman, combed back neatly. Jefferson's expression is serious and composed, reflecting his character as a statesman and intellectual. The artist's choice of such a solemn and dignified portrayal aligns with the way Jefferson is remembered as a founding father and visionary. The inscription on the obverse of the 1964 Jefferson nickel reads, "In God We Trust," the national motto of the United States, which had been added to coinage in 1864 during the Civil War as a way to invoke divine protection over the nation. Surrounding Jefferson's portrait is also the phrase, "Liberty," which is a reference to the foundational ideals of the United States, as well as the date of minting, which in the case of this coin is 1964. The date is positioned directly beneath Jefferson's portrait. On the reverse of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, the central feature is a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home in Virginia. Monticello holds great historical significance not only because it was Jefferson's residence but also because of his architectural achievements in designing it. Jefferson's architectural contributions to the structure were one of the primary reasons Monticello was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The reverse of the coin depicts Monticello in a front-facing view, and its grandeur is clearly emphasized in Schlag's depiction. The building is shown with large columns and a symmetrical, classical architectural design, with a dome prominently positioned at the top. In the background of the Monticello design, there is an engraving of the words, Monticello, which appears across the upper portion of the reverse, identifying the house. Below Monticello, the coin bears the inscriptions, E pluribus unum, the national motto, which translates to, out of many, one, and 5 cents, indicating the denomination of the coin. The Latin phrase, which had been in use on U.S. coins since the late 18th century, symbolizes the unity of the United States, composed of diverse states and people coming together as one nation. The year of minting, 1964, is engraved directly above the image of Monticello, completing the overall design. The composition of the 1964 Jefferson nickel remained consistent with previous years, made from a copper-nickel alloy that has been used for the coin since its inception in 1866. The alloy consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving the coin its characteristic silvery appearance. The copper-nickel mixture provides both durability and resistance to corrosion, which is essential for circulating coins. This composition was a pragmatic choice by the U.S. Mint, as it allowed for the production of durable, cost-effective coins while ensuring that they could withstand the wear and tear of daily use in commerce. In 1964, the U.S. Mint continued to use the copper-nickel alloy for the Jefferson Nickel, despite the larger changes in coinage composition occurring during the same year. That year marked the final year in which the U.S. produced silver dimes, quarters, and half dollars before moving to a copper-nickel blend in these coins as well, due to rising silver prices and a shortage of the metal. The nickel, however, was unaffected by this change, and its composition remained the same throughout 1964, making it one of the few coins that maintained its original form. This stable composition made the Jefferson Nickel one of the more affordable and widely circulating coins during a time when changes in the composition of other coins were necessary to address the growing financial and material challenges faced by the mint. The minting of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel took place across multiple U.S. mint facilities. The primary mints were located in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins struck in Philadelphia did not have a mint mark, while coins struck in Denver featured a D mint mark, and those produced in San Francisco carried an S mint mark. These mint marks, placed near the rim of the coin just to the right of Jefferson's portrait, were a way to identify where the coin was produced. The mint marks were particularly significant to collectors, as they represented different issues of the coin based on minting locations. In 1964, the production of Jefferson nickels reached high numbers, reflecting the ongoing need for nickel coins in the national currency supply. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 1 billion Jefferson nickels that year, while the Denver Mint also produced a significant quantity. The San Francisco Mint produced a smaller number of proof coins, which were intended primarily for collectors. The large mintage of the 1964 nickel, in comparison to other denominations, ensured its continued circulation in the years that followed, making it an essential part of the nation's coinage during a transformative time in U.S. history. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is important not only because of its design and composition but also due to the historical context in which it was produced. It was one of the last coins minted before the United States fully shifted away from silver coinage. Its continued use throughout the mid-20th century and into the present day makes it an enduring symbol of American values and history. The design of the Jefferson Nickel, with its tribute to Jefferson's legacy and Monticello, continues to be a lasting visual marker of the ideals that the United States was founded upon: liberty, unity, and resilience. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel, in its standard form, is not a particularly rare or valuable coin. Produced in vast quantities, over 2 billion pieces, it circulated widely and has remained a staple in American currency. However, while the vast majority of these coins are of little more value than their face value, there is a rare and highly sought-after subset of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel that has become incredibly valuable to collectors: the error coins. Error coins from this period, especially those featuring notable and unique minting mistakes, can command astonishing prices at auctions. These coins are highly prized not only for their rarity but also for their fascinating production history, which captures the nuances of coin manufacturing at a pivotal time in U.S. history. The standard design of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel was designed by Felix Schlag and features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with his plantation home, Monticello, depicted on the reverse. The coin was produced in large quantities due to the continued demand for nickel-based currency in the U.S. The metal composition of these coins consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, and this formula remained unchanged throughout the year. While the general coin population from 1964 is plentiful, certain error varieties produced during the minting process are anything but ordinary. The most significant reason for the high value of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel in error form lies in the rarity of the minting mistake. Errors occur when a coin is struck improperly, resulting in a misalignment of the design, a double impression of the design elements or other anomalies. Because these mistakes are rare and often not repeated, they can make a particular coin extremely valuable. One of the most sought-after error varieties for the 1964 Jefferson Nickel is the double die error, which occurs when the design die used to stamp the image onto the coin is misaligned or strikes the coin multiple times. As a result, some elements of the design, such as the date, lettering, or other features, appear doubled. In the case of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, the double die error is most commonly found in the word Liberty or the date 1964 on the obverse. The doubling effect can sometimes be subtle, making it challenging to detect with the naked eye, but under magnification, collectors can clearly see the misalignment of the letters or numbers, which creates a shadow of the design. The error coins that feature such clear and noticeable doubling are extremely rare and are highly prized in the collector community. The double die error on the 1964 Jefferson Nickel is especially sought after because it provides insight into the minting process and highlights the imperfections that can sometimes arise in mass production. The appeal of such errors lies in their uniqueness. Only a handful of double die 1964 Jefferson Nickels were struck, making them an anomaly among the billions of regular, error-free coins produced that year. Collectors find these error varieties fascinating, as they represent a rare confluence of human error, mechanical failure, and historical circumstances. Another error type that has caught the attention of collectors involves incorrect or missing mint marks. Mint marks are small letters on the reverse of U.S. coins that indicate where they were struck. The standard 1964 Jefferson Nickel was produced at 3 mint facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint, with a D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, with an S mint mark. However, some 1964 Jefferson Nickels were struck without any mint mark, or with a mint mark that did not belong to the coin in question. For example, a nickel intended to be struck at the Philadelphia Mint may have accidentally been struck with a D mint mark intended for coins from Denver. These kinds of mint mark errors, though relatively rare, are highly desirable to collectors who seek to complete their collections with the most unusual and unique examples. Additionally, missing or misapplied mint marks are important because they represent a breakdown in the minting process, showcasing how even the most automated facilities can sometimes make mistakes. There are also struck-through errors in which foreign material, such as grease, debris, or other contaminants, becomes trapped in the die during the minting process, creating an unusual mark or smudge on the coin. The most common of these errors on the 1964 Jefferson Nickel include struck-through lint or oil marks. These marks can significantly affect the coin's visual appeal, but because they are a result of mechanical malfunction rather than intentional design, they are highly prized by error coin collectors. In addition to these common errors, other less frequent minting mistakes also exist, including off-center strikes and die breaks. An off-center strike happens when the planchet, blank metal disc, is not properly aligned in the coin press, causing the design to be stamped unevenly on the coin. These errors result in coins that have part of their design missing or shifted off to one side, and these off-center 1964 Jefferson Nickels can be highly collectible depending on the severity of the error. Die breaks occur when a portion of the die cracks or chips away, leading to a design flaw that is visible on the final coin. While these errors are rarer, they can add further intrigue and value to a coin, depending on how pronounced the flaw is. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel, specifically those with significant and rare minting errors, has increasingly gained attention among collectors, particularly in recent years. Many of these error coins have been sold at high-profile auctions, often fetching far more than their face value due to their scarcity and the fascination surrounding them. One of the most notable sales of a 1964 Jefferson Nickel error coin took place in 2023, when a rare specimen of the double-die 1964 Jefferson Nickel with clear and noticeable doubling of the word Liberty was auctioned off to an eager crowd of collectors and investors. This particular error coin, in near-perfect condition, sparked a bidding war, with buyers from around the world attempting to secure it. The final bid for this rare 1964 Jefferson nickel reached an astonishing $6,785,000. This sale made headlines in the numismatic world, setting a new record for the highest price ever paid for a 1964 Jefferson nickel-era coin. The price was driven not only by the rarity of the era but by the coin's exceptional condition, which made it an even more desirable piece for collectors. The $6,785,000 price tag reflected the growing interest and value of era coins in general, as well as the increasing recognition of coins like the 1964 Jefferson nickel as important cultural and historical artifacts. The combination of a rare minting mistake, the historical significance of the coin's design, and the coin's exceptional preservation all contributed to its extraordinary value at auction. This record-breaking sale is a testament to the increasing value of era coins in the modern collecting world, showing that even coins from a mass-produced year like 1964 can reach eye-popping prices if they feature a unique and rare flaw. In conclusion, while the 1964 Jefferson nickel is not inherently rare or valuable in its standard form, certain era coins from that year have become extraordinarily rare and have reached unprecedented auction prices. Coins featuring notable errors like double dies, mint mark misplacements, and other minting flaws are coveted by collectors for their rarity and unique history. The remarkable sale of one particular 1964 Jefferson nickel for $6,785,000 illustrates just how valuable these era coins can be, especially when they possess unique characteristics that make them stand out from the billions of standard nickels produced that year. The 1964 Jefferson nickel, in era form, has become a prime example of how a simple mistake in the minting process can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly prized and immensely valuable piece of numismatic history. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of rare coins. If this story amazed you, be sure to like, subscribe, and explore our other videos where we reveal more hidden treasures and stories from the fascinating world of collectible coins. Who knows, maybe there's $1 million find waiting for you in your own collection.